how long are you willing to remain in last place for? Let's say you entered a marathon. Let's say you've got, I'm not sure how many people enter a marathon, so don't quote me, but let's say there's 100, maybe even 1,000, more than 1,000 people entering in that marathon, right? The race starts, you're finding your rhythm, you're finding your pace, you're setting yourself up, right? And you see one person go past, then you see another, and another, and another, and another. Eventually it ends up being 10 people, and then 50, and then 100. And then you see multiple people coming in, and you realize you're the last person in the marathon. You realize that everyone else is further ahead of you. You realize that you started at the front, but you ended up at the back. How far are you willing to run? And would you even complete that marathon while seeing everyone else get ahead of you? The reason why I'm using this example is because this is exactly what chasing your dreams, chasing your dream life, chasing whatever goal or whatever outcome you want in life is like. You see, all of us are so caught up on how other people view us, and we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people, which is normal because when you consider the fact that social media has made it so easy to veer into other people's lives. So you can click here and you can see this person going live. You can click here, see what this person did yesterday, or you can click up here and you can see what that person did last week. Social media has made it so normal to peer into other people's lives to a point where we're constantly comparing ourselves to that person, this person, that person. And we all get muddled up. We all become so insecure and vain. We become so focused on what other people think of us to a point where we're unwilling to have our own decisions and have our own opinions. So going back to the example I was using about the marathon, how far would you be willing to run if you knew for a fact that you were in last place and you were guaranteed to finish in last place? A lot of us really want to be seen as these successful people. A lot of us want to be seen in high positions in life where we're super proud, we're getting all the attention, we're getting all the fame, and people are constantly coming up to us saying, how did you do that? I'm so proud of you. I wish I was like you one day. I wish I can become you one day, right? A lot of us like the idea of being respected and being praised in the public, right? But because of what it takes, because of all the barriers that are involved, a lot of us shy away from this, and a lot of us are content with living our dream lives in our minds only. But in reality, it's nothing like that at all. A lot of us are so focused on trying to, a lot of us live our lives vicariously through other people. We constantly look at people who are either successful, who have a lot of money, who have great social skills, who are great speakers. Maybe they're great at a particular sport or a craft. Maybe they're a singer, maybe they're an artist, whatever someone is good at, right? Someone in a great position, we idolize these people, we look at these people, and we constantly compare ourselves to them thinking, how did they get here, but I'm all the way down here? How have they managed to do that? You see, these people are no different from us. Sure, people are built, sure, people were born with luck, sure, people were born with favorable scenarios. For example, they may have both parents. For example, they may have a great support system. For example, they may be born in areas where crime is lowered, or maybe they were born with freedom, or born with, let's say, born with a lot of support. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? And we constantly demonize these people, and we constantly become envious of these people, thinking, how did they get so lucky? How did they manage to have all of these amazing things? But I think it's more important for us to focus on what we have and what we can do with what we have. You see, these people are no different from us, because regardless of what they were born with, regardless of whatever lucky scenario they have, they still worked for it. They still had to use some level of creativity, some level of free will to make the most of their situation. A lot of people have bad situations, and there are a few people who have amazing, perfect scenarios. But there's also a lot of people who came from unfavorable circumstances and are living better than these people who even had the favorable circumstances to begin with. I was reading this book, 50th Law. It's actually mad convenient that I have it with me. And they've highlighted 50 Cent as one of the main characters in this book, or I forgot his name. Oh, Curtis Jackson, that's the one. And it talks about how 50 Cent, well, quote me if I'm wrong, but he didn't know his father. His mother was shot and killed in a gang, due to gang violence when he was between the ages of 7 and 11, I think. He was living with his grandparents. For most of his life, he was in street beefs, he was doing gang violence, he was selling drugs, he was doing all these things. Very unfavorable circumstances. But if we were to compare where he was in this book to where he is now, multi-millionaire, owns many businesses, you see him in movies, you see him rapping, you see him living life completely on his terms. Yet he came from the most unfavorable circumstances. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that 50 Cent was that marathon runner who was in last place while everyone else was ahead. While everyone else had the favorable scenarios. For example, they were fitter, they had more practice, they had more support, they had a team behind them. 50 Cent was the person who went by himself and was constantly grinding, constantly developing himself, regardless of whatever position he was in. He was in last place, quite literally struggling. He had to do so many things that a lot of us would never even dream to think of doing. A lot of us don't know what it's like to sell drugs. I'm one of them. A lot of us don't know what it's like to get into gang violence or the street life. I'm one of those people. I don't know what it's like. I'm privileged in that sense. I've been lucky enough to not be in that. But these people who have come from the most unfavorable scenarios, unfavorable circumstances, have still made their way to the top upper echelon in life in terms of freedom, in terms of being happy, in terms of being proud of who they are as a person. They've turned their lives around. And the main factor is persistence, is self-belief, and is patience. That is something that is very scarce in today's world, because we constantly compare ourselves to other people in social media. Not only that, but everything is quick. For example, if you wanted food right now, Uber Eats, that's coming in 20 minutes. If you wanted clothes, boom, that's coming the next day, maybe even the same day, depending where you order from. Amazon Prime, you can get same day delivery. You can get Prime delivery for tomorrow, you know? Everything's quick. And we constantly compare these things, and also social media as well. When we look at people who are in the ideal positions we want to be in, we're constantly thinking, damn, this person's 5 years younger than me, yet they have triple my bank account. This person's, this person's 5 years older than me, but when they were my age, they were working a lot harder. When they were my age, they had all of these business plans, they had all of these skills, they were working this hard. And we constantly become impatient with our level of progress because on social media, it looks so quick. But in real life, it's very slow and it's very draining, it's boring. And we get very irritated and we become impatient with ourselves. We're thinking, damn, why am I so bad at this? We start to question ourselves. Am I not good at this? Do I not deserve it? Am I not the type of person who can I actually achieve my dream life? The thing is, we can. It's just that we're not giving ourselves time and patience to become the people we want to be. We're not being persistent enough. We're not being accepting of the fact that the things that offer the greatest rewards, 9 times out of 10, maybe even 99 times out of 100, are very slow and steady. You see, the higher you climb and the faster you climb, the quicker you can drop because there's less foundation behind you. You see, these people like 50 Cent, these people maybe like Robert Greene, these people maybe like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Summer Walker, Rihanna, name anyone who inspires you, right? These people didn't just get their success and then stayed up there the entire time. These people slowly built themselves up and had eventual peaks, and then they dropped down a little bit, and then they continued to build and build and build. Maybe if they dropped further than they started in the beginning. But these people kept on building and building and building and building and building. These people kept on doing the same thing that is proven to work over time, and eventually they became the type of people we see today. These A-list celebrities, these people who are super motivational, these people who truly inspire us to want more, or maybe even they inspire us to just try new things. These people all went through the exact same struggle that we went through today, that we're currently going through, that we have been in the past, and that we will face in the future. These people are no different from us. 50 Cent came from one of the worst scenarios I've ever heard from someone else in a book. Yet he's made his own empire. He's owned so many businesses. He's in so many ventures, he's in movies. He's making music. I don't know what else he does. I've only read the book, but he's in so many ventures, and he's turned his life around from someone who lost his parents, from someone who was living with his grandparents, with someone who was on the street, in and out of street beef, got shot 8 times point blank, maybe even more times, you know? Yet he's living the life that he's living now because he was willing to wait for his time to shine. He was patient, he was persistent, and he was dedicated. He kept on going and going and going until eventually he just became that person that he is now. And I understand we feel pressure to succeed. We feel pressure to reach the same level of success that other people have. We see people who are younger than us, taller than us, fitter than us, skinnier than us, making progress and success in whatever venture. But it's important to understand that most people on social media are doing it most people on social media are putting their best foot forward. A lot of people are trying to show you in their best light, and I will gladly admit, I will try my best to make to be as authentic as possible. But there are things that I do to put myself in the best foot forward. For example, working on my speech. I use takes while I'm doing these videos because I want it to come across as best as possible for the viewer, for you guys watching. So when you guys see some people living the best lives, when you see people somewhat perfect, just know that there's a possibility that they're doing takes. There's a possibility that these people are constantly doing things over and over again. They're constantly practicing to get the best result and then put that foot forward. These people who have built their business empire, these people who are making life seem so seamlessly easy, have failed over and over again to get the results they're getting now. So do not be discouraged when you see other people making more progress than you, or whether you're the last person in the race like 50 Cent. If you're in a marathon, if you are the last person in that marathon, it does not matter whether people get ahead of you. It matters whether you are continuing to run on that journey. It's more important to focus on what you are doing throughout that marathon. Are you continuing to go? Are you continuing to do things that would make you proud? Continuing on that marathon, getting water, getting rest, proving yourself right, proving that you know what you're doing. That's far more important than whether someone's making more or less progress than you. Be proud that you are the person that you are now. Be proud of the past yous, because all of the past efforts that you've done have made you the person you are now. And the actions that you take now will push you forward to that person that you want to be. Do not be discouraged when you see other people making more or less progress than you. Be proud that you are making progress in your own right. It will be slow, it will be boring, it will be irritating when you do not see the progress that you want. But I promise you, if you stick through it, if you continue to grow, continue to develop, you will get exactly what you want in life. And you'll be so proud of yourself, the past yous, the self you are now, that you stuck through it and you kept on going. Do not fear being the last person in that marathon. Do not fear being the last person in that race. What's important is that you are completing the race in your own time. It is your race, it is your life. Keep on going, be proud of yourself, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Take care of yourself, man.